Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. In this video, we're going to look at how to pronounce close and close, house and house, and talk about the different meanings of these sets of words. So there are a few words in English that can serve as a noun or a verb, and that change their pronunciation even though they don't change their spelling. So close and close, house and house are examples of this. Also use and use, which you can see my video for use and use. I'll put a link in the corner for you if you're interested in those words. So when we think of close, the verb, the difference between these sounds, obviously, is that close, the verb, the letters SE say the Z sound. My voice is on, as in close the door. We need to close the deal. So it's an action word, the verb, and we have the Z sound versus close, a close call, I'm close to finishing. The letters SE say the S sound, and I've rewritten that for you here with letters SS. So in writing, it won't matter which form you're using, and in speaking, we just need to be aware of how these sound different. That I want to watch out for if I'm using the verb to close, that I make sure that I have my voice on for the Z sound. Also, my vowel will be slightly longer before the voiced Z. Close the door, you'll hear the O is a tiny bit longer than if I say I'm close to finishing. The duration of the vowel is determined by the voicing of this consonant sound following the vowel. So it's a good idea to practice some short phrases with both pronunciations, just so you recognize which one to use where and are aware that there are two different pronunciations. And then when it comes to house and house, house is more common, the noun, that's what we think of when we see this word written, but it does also function as a verb, and it does the same thing, where the letters SE will say the Z sound if I'm using it as a verb. So as a noun, this house is on the market. My house has 2 stories. I like the greenhouse on the corner. We just have our S sound, voiceless, straightforward. But when we're talking about the verb to house something or someone, we use that Z sound. So for example, we can house 20 families in this building. We also have the noun housing, which comes from house, and this also has the Z sound. So we're looking at building more housing. There's a housing shortage. We need temporary housing for those families. So one thing to note is that in the dictionary, if you're not sure whether something should be an S or a Z, especially letters SE, which do both, obviously, look for the symbols in the dictionary, and they're straightforward. If it's an S voiceless sound, there should be an S in the dictionary. And if it's a Z sound, there should be a Z in the dictionary. One thing to note about the word house is that when it's singular, we have the S, but this does a strange thing when we make it plural. It becomes houses, and we have Z sounds on both. So a lot of other words that end with SE will change the form in the plural, like we have mouse and mice. But with house and houses, we end up with this ziz sound at the end. So that's just one exception to watch out for, that if you're talking about one house, you use the S sound. If you're talking about multiple houses, use the Z sounds. And as I mentioned, we have use, the verb, and use, the noun, and you can check out my video for that after this one if you have more questions about it. As I mentioned before, do try practicing some short phrases so that you become comfortable with knowing which pronunciation to use in which context. Thanks so much for watching and for your comments, questions, suggestions. I'll be back later this week with our live Saturday class, our Fluent Friday class, our special Sunday, and our mini Monday classes. You can see many more Word of the Day videos on our playlist, and do check out the materials on our channel as well as on our website, speechmodification.com. We have some online courses that can walk you through all of the details of American English pronunciation and American accent that can help you answer these types of questions and build a strong foundation to pronounce any word that you want confidently and easily in American English. I hope you'll check them out. Thanks so much for being part of the channel and your support. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.